speaking of dark stuff, we're going to talk about film delays and theater closures. I don't know where everybody stands on this, honestly. So personally speaking, I kind of want to get out a little bit. Now, I want to be safe. I get the whole idea of being safe. I'm not a, forget it, let's just go out and do whatever we want sort of person. But I do want to get out. And the fact that I was okay with delays, so I don't feel like I'm being impatient. But the most recent round where they pushed everything back for the second and third time is really eroded my confidence as to when any of this stuff is coming out, and I just wonder how long they can possibly keep waiting. I think they need to find a way to somehow get stuff out. I know, for instance, Regal Theaters is closing down a ton of places temporarily, presumably, but how long can they keep this stuff up? What do you guys think? What should they do? Can they find a course of action to actually start releasing these things in some way? Would you go to a theater at this point? Like, what's your whole outlook on it? Maybe we'll start with who wants to take it? Anybody? Max, you want to take it?
Why not? I'm going to try to stay away from the obviously ingrained political issues that could come with this discussion, because it's honestly down to a very media-based, whichever side you listen to is where you lean kind of on this one. As it is, financially, a theater can't sustain not having people come in, obviously, and movie markets can't sustain people not going into theaters. They tried the thing with Mulan. You didn't get a ton of money out of that, and even trying to, I don't want to go overkill with this, but kiss up to the Chinese market with that film, they still managed to not pull in the Chinese market because of some other offense. So, like, they didn't even make the money in the market they thought they were going to capitalize on. So it's a lot of money to be investing in a film if you're not getting the return on investment. I think it's a very damning look for the future of film if they don't find a way to get people back in theaters. Even the University of Florida football team is having debates right now as to whether or not to let people back into the stadium. Like, they lost last week to a packed stadium of Texas A&M, but they're not going to be able to have people in their own to get used to the crowd noise. So it's a very tough thing to move past, but if we don't move past it, nothing functions the same.
Yeah, well, we had here the first 3 rounds of the Dutch Football League, and I'm talking football, the one with the ball and that's played with a foot, and not the one egg with you using your hands. Yeah, okay. In the Dutch Football League, you have the first 3 rounds. There was an audience. My local team has a stadium about 45,000 people there that could is a capacity crowd, but there were 13,000 max. Actually, the local doctor was doing a research study to see with quick tests and everything if people can go into the stadium and not contract the virus and get sick, etc. But that has been put on a hold like 2 weeks ago because the government said we don't want so much traveling anymore. So it's not so much being in the stadium, but they want to keep the amount of traveling to a minimum because they say people, when they meet outside, it's not so bad because if you keep your distance, you can't contract the virus. But it's when they use the train, the subway, the bus, etc. That's where the problem is, even if they wear a mask. So they stopped that research. So now we are waiting actually a press conference from our government later today in an hour or 5 where they announce if they need to take further action and probably will go back into a lockdown again. That being said, movie theaters. I have been to the movie theater since June 1st, like 4 times or something. What they did at our country was you have to buy a ticket online. You can come in only 15 minutes or closer in advance. We used to have pre-seating. You buy a ticket, you have already a seat assigned to you. In the beginning, it was like this: you just show up at the entrance of your hall when a movie is playing. There's a guy with a platform, a map of the theater, and he signs where you want to sit, you sit there. Okay, how many people like this? Talk, 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 and around you cannot sit anymore. So that's how we did it. We didn't you weren't not required to wear a mask. There was nobody sitting in front of you, nobody sitting behind of you, nobody sitting 3 seats next to you. Only people from the same household could sit with each other. I went to a movie with my father, actually, Tenet. He had to sit behind me, on the row behind me. He could not sit next to me, but we could go to the movie together. And actually, I felt quite safe. It was perfectly arrangeable. Only you cannot fill the hall. So you will never, ever, ever get so much money. So you have to have a lot of showings. Well, is that a bad thing? Actually, you can right now because there's almost no new movies coming out. If Tenet has instead normal they have like a 4-week run, then you have to had like 90% of your income you already have earned as a movie. Why not make it 14, 15, 16 weeks like it used to be? I mean, Avatar, it was in movie theaters for like almost a year to make all of its money. Why? Because there were less blockbusters coming out. Now you have like a blockbuster sometimes every week. I mean, if you look at the schedule of 2015 or 2017, it was crazy. You had like every week you had like a blockbuster coming out in the summer season, and then you move each other, then you kill each other with that. And the problem is now there are no new movies. So why would you go to the movie theater?
Biz, have you been to the theater recently?
Yeah, I've watched Tenet and that one with Russell Crowe, that Unhinged. I think that's what it's called,
Right.
Unhinged.
Yeah. I saw the trailer for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched those two movies. Yeah, they're taking the necessary precautions like anywhere else. I mean, I guess I think it's a bit more relaxed in Australia, but they do have more spacing between the seats. Like they obviously can't fill it all up. Like I think it's like maybe 30% or maybe 50. Maybe I think it's 30%. They have like you don't have to wear a mask either. They have the hand sanitizer. They have that everywhere, obviously. But yeah, like it's a difficult position to be in. Like no one likes this pandemic. Not the businesses, not us, governments. Yeah, like it's hurting everyone. It's a tricky thing. But I did hear that Wonder Woman could possibly be up for in streaming. There's a rumor apparently. Like I didn't.
Oh really?
Yeah, I didn't look at the
Patty
look
Jenkins
into
said on Patty
the
Jenkins
John
said on
Campea
Twitter.
video, but yeah.
Patty
So that'll
Jenkins
be
said on Twitter
interesting.
not possible.
Yeah, I saw where Patty Jenkins said she didn't want it on there. I'm not sure if she has the say or not though. I don't know what they're gonna do on that. This is the first time I'm actually hearing that they could release it on streaming. You know what? To Max's point earlier, I'm pretty sure the Mulan was a bit of a test for the streaming thing, and I don't think they got what they were hoping for out of it. I think if they had, you might be seeing everything from Black Widow on hitting streaming if they'd gotten what they wanted out of it, possibly. I don't know that, and I'm also not sure. I don't know.
But let's take a poll. Who of you would have seen Mulan in theaters?
I would see it, but I would go see it. My wife, for instance, is really looking forward to it, so I would go see it with her. But so yes, but
I was hoping to force my wife to go with his wife and not have to see it, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
I would have watched it when it made Disney Plus, but I wasn't going to pay the $30 viewing fee for it, no matter how many people I had come over.
no, exactly. I was going to see it because I have a subscription to my local theater, so I can get to see everything for free or for €1.50 if it's 3D. But if I had to pay full ticket,
I would have to have somebody talk me into it. Sorry, Bez, go ahead.
No, like I'm pretty much the same. Like I don't think. I mean, it's like a must-see movie for, like to go to the cinemas for Milan, but I guess eventually maybe if like I don't know. Like what do you think, Arj?
About if it's must see or not?
Yeah.
So for me personally, it's not a must-see film, but I know a lot of people are really looking forward to it. So I mean, I'm not going to try to like cast it as a film that like people don't want to see. I think a lot of people are really interested in it. How big it would have been, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's probably, I don't know, like a 600, 800 million film. It's Battle Cat. All right, so, so. Yeah, I mean, I think.
But then take a second poll. If it was Black Widow, would you have gone to theaters?
Yes, definitely.
So, if Black Widow would have dropped to Disney Plus on streaming for $30, would you have bought it?
Yes.
There you go. They did the test with the wrong movie.
Yeah, true.
Well, so the reason I think they did that, that's a good point too. I think they tested Mulan because it's a bit cheaper. Black Widow's like near 150 million. I wish I was looking at that figure right now because I probably just got it wrong. But I think it's like 120 to 150. I think it's closer to 150. But Mulan, I'm pretty sure was about 90 million. I mean, they could. It's a slightly more affordable film to test that on, but also, one, you don't have to get as high a return back to make it even at least, and. But it's still, a big enough film. They couldn't test a film that they only thought was going to make $20 million because not enough people were going to see that anyway. But enough people were going to see Mulan that it made sense to give it a shot, I think.
Google says it's about 150 to 200 million. So say it's 200 million. For 30 bucks, you need like about 70 million people buying this movie. Well, I think it's possible.
Does anyone know how Mulan did in terms of like
no
views or how much money it made?
I don't think
it seems like because it seems like they're only putting like they're testing the waters with B-grade movies. I mean, like first it was Artemis Fowl and now Mulan, and I'm pretty sure there was like another Disney movie. It's like, yeah, it's like a B-grade movie. I'm like,
Soul's coming to Disney Plus, but I don't think it's VIP access.
I don't think they want to test it with anything bigger. I just think the prospect of putting a film that you thought could have been $1 billion film on Disney Plus and it only makes 150 is a little too scary. Like I just don't think they want to risk that. But I don't know. Just in general, as far as theaters opening, I don't know about the logistics of all of it. But I keep thinking, like, I don't know, could you at least put the big tentpole films in, give it an entire theater? So, like, imagine Black Widow running in an entire Regal almost, and then you could still spread out. You can get everybody in there who would go to a regular showing, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know if that would work. I don't know if they can do it. I know there's a lot of red tape and stuff to get to that, but maybe. I would like that.
The interesting thing is that there have been no outbreaks that have been sourced from movie theaters in terms of the coronavirus. I saw an article about that.
Because they take the precautions. It's the same as football stadiums. Those clubs, they have it under control. They do what they need to do. They put in extra stewards. They really say to you, hey, move away from each other. You're not even allowed to chant in the football stadium in the Netherlands. But the problem is movie theaters are indoors.
Right.
I'm
sorry.
No, so indoors the risk is higher. So you can never go to capacity crowd. So it's what Biz said. It's about 30% they can fill up the movie theater. So you have to have like triple the showings or quadruple the showings to break even.
Most of their seating is foamatic also. It's a foamite, so you can't really say they can clean it as easily as like a Disney World ride where everything can be wiped down within a second.
Oh yeah, that's true too. You're sitting in a fabric seat.
Yeah, it's a sponge. Like it's gonna hold everything it can.
Right.
Yeah.
I had one other thought on it because I see a lot of people mentioning this, or I see some people mentioning this, is the idea of opening in drive-in theaters and going to those. I want to caution against that. I've got a personal thing with drive-in theaters. I love drive-ins, by the way, but I go see fun movies at them. Just show of hands, have you guys been to a drive-in theater? Do you guys have drive-in theaters? No, okay, they might not have them over there.
Yeah, we do have one, I think, in this country, but that's one. And
we do have them in Australia, but it's never been to one.
Okay, they're fun to go to for like fun movies. You don't go to them to watch a movie though. You go to them to eat snacks and goof off with your friends. And I've seen a lot of people do this, and I just wonder how many people have actually been to a theater because there is no way in the world I'm showing up to a movie I really care about like Black Widow at a drive-in movie theater for the first time. There's no way. You got cars honking, you got planes flying over, you got traffic noise going by, you got
right,
kids,
of course, yeah.
you got kids
Car
running by.
alarms going off.
Car
People
alarms
talk
going off.
over the loudspeaker to offer up snacks from the stand.
The dude in the car next to you smoking dope, and like you got security guards walking around. It's terrible, dude. Don't.
Too many distractions.
There's so many distractions. It's not a good. It's a terrible theater experience. It's a fun time.
I already get annoyed when somebody lights up his phone 26 away from me.
I'm telling you, you don't go to a drive-in to watch the movie. It's like odd, it's something to do, but it's like having a party at your house with a movie on in the background. Nobody's really watching it, but it's just there, right? So that's what it is. Anyway, I just wanted to put my 2 cents out on that.
I saw the second Jumanji, well, the third Jumanji, I guess, at it, and that is something where I had to watch it again to catch the film, basically.
Don't bother.
It's good to see an action movie because this stuff's going on screen. You don't care.
It's basically the same as the first one.
Right.
All right. I did want to just move on to what I'm hoping is a fun topic for everybody. So some Star Wars chat, but I did want to take 2 polls first. So you have to go on record here. I'm sorry, everybody's got.